Hello friends, and welcome to another conversation of STEM Talks with Leaders. I am your host Bhuvan Verma. Through STEM Talks with Leaders, we remove calcified ideologies and imbibe the STEM way of thinking. Those of you who watch this series undertake collective rethinking of what exists. STEM Talks with Leaders help you see a different point of view from your existing one. STEM Talks with Leaders helps you gain broad-based thinking through which you are able to connect dots across different domains and aspects. To help you observe and learn soft skills or swag as you know it, we have for you someone very special today, Mr. Satinder Sharma, founder of DAIEXCEL Consulting Group, a STEM and innovations and technology enthusiast. Hello, Satinder. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi, Bhuvan. Thank you for inviting me. And hi, friends. Hi, students.
All right, then. So diving straight into our students' questions, Satinder, our students are curious to know why are industry leaders interested in STEM and STEAM education?
See, STEM and STEAM education is not something which is not new. I think it is since ages. And it is evolving over a period of time. So in fact, it is the origin of the, all sort of revolutions, whether it's a scientific revolution, industrial revolution, innovation, growth, or human growth, or economic growth. So it has actually helped, for all these kind of revolutions. So if we, just go by the study, which says that is only less than 5% of a human mind has been used so far, right? So STEM and STEAM education is actually help us, it is a catalyst, which help to explore the human mind and the mind of the people who study.
All right, then. So to our next questions, our students are curious to know how important is hands-on training for school students?
Yeah, hands-on training, I would say, is the very, very important area. So right from our childhood, right? So our parents used to say, practice makes the man perfect. So in that sense, the hands-on training is very, very important. We cannot become an expert, just by reading or through an instruction or an audio or a video, right? So even the best of best stimulation, right, cannot replace the hands-on training. So hands-on training transform our theoretical knowledge into the skill and the wisdom. So I would like also say to that the God has given us the 5 senses, which is the sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch, right? So these are the things which actually we experience the outside world, which goes inside to our mind, right? And then mind start working into that direction. So in that sense, it is very, very important that we use all these senses by practicing or by hands-on trainings.
Absolutely, absolutely. So students, the key is practice makes perfect. I hope you're taking notes. Okay. To our next question, Satinderji, how does STEM education help students learn entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think it's a sequential question, in terms of the hands-on training. So the study also says that the human mind, processes some 70,000 thoughts in a day, right? So when our mind processes these thoughts, all these thoughts are basically nothing but an idea, which can turn into any kind of an entrepreneurship activity, right? So if we, use our all senses and study with that STEM and STEAM, that thoughts which come to our mind can be converted into very innovative ideas, which can further lead into the entrepreneurship. And over and above, the Indian government is also helping, right? Those students or the new entrepreneurs, right? That they can actually become the entrepreneurs by using the initiatives by the government, which is Atmanirbhar or startup. So many new students these days are coming, even after coming from the college, they're becoming the entrepreneurs.
So students, today we learned from Satinderji that ideas are the genesis of entrepreneurship. Thank you very much, Satinderji, for sharing your thoughts with our students. Okay, to our next question, and this is one of the questions that students eagerly look forward to. What is that one subject, topic, or activity that you have done by self-learning?
Yeah, self-learning is very important, because if you see that right from our childhood when we were infant, we have actually learned to self-learning by exploring our mind and our hearts, right? So in that sense, the self-learning is very, very important, right? So in terms of the STEM education and the STEAM education, you know, so I'll just share my, one of the my experience, right, on the self-learning. So when I was first job which I joined, even after passing my engineering, so we were supposed to, work on the machines. So when I work on the machine with my own hands, right, so I was able to develop a methodology through which a tool can be set, which was supposed to be set in 2 to 3 hours. Now I was able to set in 15 minutes. So in that sense, the hands-on training and self-learning both are very, very important for the students and for everybody. I think say that even the adults also learn by self-learning.
Absolutely. So students following a methodology, practicing helps you gain more knowledge and helps you, in self-learning. And with all the tools available to you, whether it is Google, Amazon, YouTube, all of them help you in self-learning, giving you access to newer ideas, like Satinderji said. Okay, Satinderji, to our next question, can you tell our students how does STEM education in schools help in social integration?
Yeah, STEM education actually can create a significant role in social integration. Right? So the purpose of any education is actually to grow and evolve as a good human being. So when people learn in the colleges and the students about the STEM and STEAM education, and it use it for the benefit of the society, then it get integrated, with the social, and they can create in terms a great impact on the social sector or for the entire humanity. So I would say that that every student these days should must learn about the sustainable development goals. So there are 17 sustainable development goals which has been initiated by the United Nations Development Program in 170 countries, right? So when they learn about this sustainability goal, they will be able to link whatever they are learning and hands-on experience they are doing, or with an entrepreneurship mind, they can really integrate it with the social and become a social entrepreneurs as well.
Wow. So beautifully and eloquently said, Satinderji. I must compliment that SDGs are also stemming out of a STEM way of thinking. And at school, if we pursue these SDGs, understand these are SDGs, they will help us in social integration and learning about what are the challenges others feel. Wow, what a sense of empathy that raises in our students by listening to you. Okay, moving on to our next question, which is one of our students' favorite, which is that one hobby that Satinderji follows to build your problem solving stamina?
I think the first thing I will tell that the problem is something which will always be there. It is an integrated part of our ever since we born till study and we go to the professions and work for entire life, right? So, but in terms of one hobby which has actually helped me, right from the childhood, in fact, the students will learn many techniques, these days, because there's so many techniques of problem solving, Six Sigma, many things they will learn. But before that, as a student, so I would say that 2 points which are very, very important for them is that first of all, whenever we are stuck, right? So we should go back to the basic and start afresh. Right? The second point I would like to say is that when you start afresh, go step by step in a process. You will be able to find the solution within the process itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So students, two very key ingredients of building your problem solving stamina: take a break, start afresh, and move step by step to identify which step did not work and rectify that as it comes along. Okay, to my next question to you, Satinderji, one must attribute of a team player.
Yeah, team player is one of the biggest attribute in life, right? So starting from our childhood, when we learn between the students and the other people in the society, as well as when we go to the corporates, right? So teamwork is something which will never ever be we can not take our sight off. So I would say that, many people say this word in the terms of team. The team, the terminology team is used as another together, everyone achieve more. And right from childhood हम सुनते आ रहे हैं है ना कि यूनिटी में स्ट्रेंथ है, एकता में बल है, राइट. सो ये जो बल है, ये बल इंडिविजुअल और लोगों का बल नहीं है, ये बल है लोगों की विजडम का. जब हम कलेक्टिव विजडम यूज करते हैं, और हर ह्यूमन जो है वो पोटेंशियली डिफरेंट है, राइट. सो दे हैव ए यूनिक पोटेंशियल इन देम. सो व्हेन वी मीट टुगेदर एंड वर्क टुगेदर, दैट इज द टाइम वी क्रिएट a great wisdom between the people. So this actually helps to solve many big problems which cannot be solved by a single person. So this is one of our, the I would say that there are two C, those two C's. One is the competition, second the collaboration. So go for collaboration, not go for competitions, and become a team member.
Absolutely. Collective action, collective wisdom, shared values, and collaboration are the key. Absolutely. Satinderji, very well said. Okay, to our next question. Can you tell our students which is your favorite equation, formula, or quote, and why?
Yeah, I would go from the quote. So my favorite quote is that be the change you want to see in the world. And this is the Mahatma Gandhi's quote. And why this quote is favorite to me, because when we ourselves do the change, so that is the time when you actually start looking inside, right? So rather than externalizing the problem, you start looking inside, and that is the time you start growing. When you're with your own personal growth, right? Your own self-awareness, self-management, and self-control starts from that point. So I would mention another quote of one of the it is a Nigerian author and a poet who has written a poem with the name of Mental Fight. Right? He said that you can't remake the world without remaking yourself. So in terms of the point, you also asked me, the equation. So I have, over a period of my 3 decades of seeing many ups and downs in life, in career or in profession or in personal life. So I have developed my own equation, right? So this equation is with 6 P's, which I would like to say that. So the first P we must understand is the first P stands for purpose, right? We should have a mission and purpose in life. And then multiplied with your passion, the second P. And if you have the passion and you have the purpose or a mission in life, you should have the principles, which is your values. And multiply it with the practice. Is one point we already touched upon. Practice makes the man perfect. Right? So this is the 4th P, right? So when we have all these 4 P's, so definitely you will face certain challenges. Now, when you practice that. So when you practice and you face the challenges, don't get defeated, right? Then persevere. So persevere is the 6th P, right? Fifth P, right? And the 6th P, I will say that by multiplying these 5 P will come the 6th P, which is the performance. So this is the equation which I use and I have learned over a period of my own experiences in life.
So beautifully put, Satinderji. Students, I hope you will pause this video, go back and list out all the 6 attributes that Satinderji has put in so beautifully in a narrative. It starts with a purpose, follows by passion, principles, practice, perseverance, and performance. All of these are important and all of these take time and patience to do. Beautifully said, Satinderji. Okay, to our next question, Satinderji. Our children took to digital classes very easily. They are very well endowed and very, thoughtful young people. Now they're going back to schools and starting their own STEM clubs. Do you have any suggestions, any inputs for them when they start their own STEM and STEAM clubs?
Yeah, I think the COVID-19 has actually put everybody into this mode of digitally connecting with each other, right? But it is also important in life that we, with the circumstances which are in front of us, we must learn, right? So we should be agile and we should adopt those changes. So we all have adopted these changes. So now, if we're moving from the digital world to the practical world, right? So that is also important, because the best possible advantage of any change or value addition we can take that by taking the advantage from the first, which is the digital world, And now moving into the second part, right? So we should discard the non-value add and take the value add, right? So so as the humans are having six senses, like I talked earlier, right? So five senses are five organs, right? Sensory organs. They actually receive the information. That is why they are receiver, and then go and get touch with my sixth mind, which is the sixth sense, right? So more we use the six senses and five senses, more we will be able to learn, right? So I say that through the STEM clubs, we learn 10 times more and 100 times more, but we learn through the virtual world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all students who are starting their own STEM clubs or who are going to join STEM and STEAM clubs in their schools, this is the time to learn from practice and practical experiencing, and you'll learn 10 times more than you did in digital classes. So all the best to you, and we wish you all the very best. Okay, so Satinderji, our students are also curious to know, while they will be doing all of this activities in clubs and teams, they want to understand how will STEM education help them in leadership, learning about leadership.
Yeah. So leadership is one trait, which we do not develop on a overnight, right? This is the beginning, right? So when they are studying the STEM and STEAM education, that is the origin and beginning to become the leader. Why? Because during this period when we study STEM and STEAM, so that we learn, we develop the ability to learn, right? And we develop the analytical skills. We also developed how to do the project management. So when we are working together for a project, we also learn teamwork, right? So when there's a problem, we learn the problem solving skills, right? And we also learn in the school and colleges the discipline. We also learn to respect each other, and putting all together become the leadership. Right? So in that sense, the STEM education will help us to really become good leaders.
Absolutely, Satinderji. To learn is to lead in a way. Very beautiful put. Students, I would request you to take notes. Very important aspects of leadership Satinderji has shared with us. Okay, Satinderji, our students, they play hard and they party hard, but they also, come across challenges and failures, and sometimes these challenges can be overwhelming technically, emotionally, team wise, and other places. Can you guide our students on how to deal with failures and rejections and move on?
See, I think first thing we should accept is that the failures and the rejection is not the bad thing, right? This is the part of the success itself, and it is the part of life itself. So if we look back the history, and if we see the all success people across the world till date, right? So none of person is without problem, right? So it is a part of the success itself, it is an inherent part of the success itself, right? So I would say a few things that now how to deal with the failure is that the first thing is that never get defeated by the failure, right? So if we fail 99 times, right, we should try this 99th time or 100th time, right? So taking an example, of the Wright brothers, right? So who make the plane to fly. So their first flight was only for 12 minutes and 120 feet, but they kept on moving, kept on trying that. Second, I would say the example is from the Edison, right? So when somebody asked the Edison that you took so many, material to use the glow the bulb, he said that my learning is that how this 6,000 plant material cannot glow the bulb is my learning. So we learn more through the failures rather than the success. So in that sense, it is very, very important to how we take the failure is very, very important in life.
Satinderji, you have had a career of technical learning, and you keep on guiding young ones at university level, and of course corporates at a professional level. You must be reading a lot of material, a lot of books. Personally, can you share some of these titles that you are reading with our students so that they can also explore and learn like you have?
Yeah, I have studied many books. So one book which I would suggest our students is to the study the professional. This book is written by the one of the consultant, who's the owner of Mindtree company. Right? This is a very good book in terms of when the people move from their the as a student and enter into the professional world. Right? So that has actually helped me a lot, when I studied it. So these days I am studying a book which is called The Speed of Trust. So trust is something which is very, very important in life to become a good leaders as well, and to become a good social person in the society, or to become a good family member. So trust is important everywhere. So this book is written by the Stephen Covey, right? So who his father has written the book The 7 Habits of the Successful People, and his son has written the book which is called The Speed of the Trust, because he actually took his company to a next level through trust only. So this is a very interesting book.
Absolutely. So students, you have two titles that you can go out and look for and make your summer holidays worthwhile and learn something new, another way of thinking, a STEM way of thinking. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledges with us, Satinder, for addressing how we can engage positively and meaningfully and learn about leadership. Students, through innovation, collaboration, and creative problem solving, we have created products with triple redundancies. There are services that are provided to people and serve people, planet, and profits. India STEM Foundation is working with partners to provide greater access to students, giving them their first lab experience and removing complexities by giving physical access to students. As you are aware, our talk series complements our work at Robo Shiksha Kendra, which are there located pan-India and engages with great learners and contributors like you. We reduce polarization by encouraging diversity through Robo Shiksha Kendra. While our students learn AI, automation, and advanced sciences, they also become dexterous in ethics, empathy, and efficiency. We thank our viewers for sharing this video with their parents and peers. And until next time, namaste.